Hello and welcome to the Hunt, Banish, Extract podcast. It's good to see you guys again. It's been 4 weeks. That's about what we were calculating for a month. So, wow, do we have too much to talk about. The event has been announced, and now we've got speculation on if there's Halloween stuff in between as well. And it's a whole new tide of corruption, and the fire came back.
Yeah, baby.
Can't freaking believe it.
Now the question is it just back for the event?
Honestly, I don't think so. I think this is where it's coming back, but I also forgot to introduce us because there's too much crap going on. I am your host, the Drunken Bard, aka DJ. With me are my wonderful co-hosts, Sleepy Weasel, aka Tyler.
Ah!
Wow. Sir Kaiser, aka Richard.
I am ready to be back.
Sir Reednick, aka Colin. Shut up!
That's Colin laughing.
And our sometimes streamer, No Mortal Z, aka Aaron. That's all you got?
Wow,
off to a great start.
I think I'm getting a little sick.
Bless you.
Well, we're already sick because Discord decided to take a freaking dump right as we wanted to record. So this is like an hour into us waiting, pretty much. So thanks, Discord. That was terrible timing.
Yeah. Oh, well, what can you do?
I love you, Discord.
No.
Fuck you.
Why did you say that so robotically?
I love
Because
you,
he's forced
Discord.
to.
Okay,
Anyway,
well,
let's get to it, guys.
yeah, the fire's back, and I sincerely don't think that it is temporary. I think that we're finally going to see it introduced into the full playlist.
Dude, I would love that. That's so, like, I want to see wild card maps where you can get either, like, heavy rain or a firestorm. Dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
I finally
mean,
get to
really
play it on a good PC.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't get to experience it normally.
It ran pretty well, though, considering.
Yeah. Now when it's foggy though,
That's crap, no matter
yeah,
what.
can't run that. Oh man.
Yeah, well, it's also kind of surprising because you speculated, I think, an episode or two ago, Tyler, because you were saying, I wonder if they'll bring the fire back. And they took everybody by surprise because this was one that people actually thought they might let go of.
I didn't think they would let it go, but I didn't think it'd be back this soon.
It was too popular
True.
to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, I
Right.
agree. It's too cool, too popular, too cool for school.
I don't know. I don't think it
Definitely more
brought in as
popular
many
than the
people.
Rain.
I actually don't think it brought in as many people as the rain did.
No,
I mean,
certainly
yeah,
didn't.
that's
Well,
true.
Like not
yeah,
even close.
yeah,
The
that's
theory
very
that I
true.
would say with that is that the fire was only the first part because, it was earlier on, and the rain was just the most recent event. So every time they do a new event, the community grows.
Yeah.
That's why I think that's the case.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess that it could be true. Well, so we had a fire, a water, maybe air next. Who knows?
And then Earth following.
And then Earth.
Yeah.
Hail.
4 nations.
Dude, no, you get hail maps when you're running around outside. You're just constantly taking very minor damage.
That'd be kind of cool.
And then they have this new ailment, concussion.
Oh. Only like 7 days to die all of a sudden? Dude.
It sounds like concussion. I already have one of those. So, but yeah.
Hey, yo, what?
I do want to do a quick thank you. I'm sorry that the beginning of this podcast has been so sloppy. The Discord thing really kind of put us backwards. But we recently got a few reviews from a few viewers. Thank you so much. They are very appreciated, not expected, but thank you for leaving reviews. We appreciate you guys.
Hopefully we're entertaining enough to get you to spread the word. If not, if we suck, that's fine.
Yeah, just drag our names through the streets. It'll be all right.
Yeah, exactly.
That
But no,
experience
thank
is
you.
fine.
All right, but one of the big announcements that actually came shortly before we wanted to record, as well as weapon inspections are coming, which is one that was
Oh my
largely
gosh.
requested and super freaking cool. Honestly, we can finally look at the full skin and not just behind the barrel anymore.
I love the throwing knife inspection, dude.
Yeah,
It
I'm
looks
looking forward.
so clean.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to throwing axe inspections. I bet those will be just as stylish.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh hell yeah.
Honestly, I think a lot of people are going to start
Saber.
getting into the whole. Yeah, the saber too. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Even just regular knife.
the hammer and stuff. The
The
railroad
baseball
hammer.
bat.
The baseball bat
bat.
inspection.
That leads into something else. That leads into something else we're going to talk about.
Yeah, well, also, one speculation that I thought was really interesting, because we were sitting here talking about a Halloween event, and then it's a new Tide event. So is Halloween replaced? Is it a Twitch drop event now? Will they drop a quest line from Twitch to get Halloween gear? Is Halloween going to be in the middle of the event?
Yeah, or is it going to be like last year
Most
where
likely.
we didn't really get one? They just kind of put stuff in the store.
It was the
So-
Twitch, wasn't it?
It really
Or,
feels
I
like
don't
they
I
might
don't know,
be.
It was
It
Headsman,
may-
wasn't it?
Yeah, they let us buy the Halloween skins again in the
It's
store.
been-
And they did the same thing with the Christmas
Wasn't that
event
last
too.
year?
It wasn't
Headsman?
Headsman. It was
It
that was
wasn't?
Mama May.
So
Last
so
year's
if it
Mama May. Okay, it was
Yeah.
the prior year.
Year
then that was
before.
Headsman.
yeah, is when they
Correct.
dropped it in the store. So yeah, Mama
think-
May was in a quest line that they dropped, and you had
Right.
so long to complete it. But
I
it wasn't
think
an
this
actual event. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the very first ever Halloween event was just the guns with the bones, and then they had like the butcher have a pumpkin head, and
Yeah.
yada yada. Yeah,
I mean, they
which is
still
fun.
do that,
But-
but
yeah,
I think honestly, I think this new event is going to replace Halloween, and they're still going to do like pumpkin heads and things like that. But I don't think it's going to be
a
like
full-on
past
Halloween.
events.
Right?
This
Yeah.
is
No,
gonna
I
be
agree.
the event,
Yeah, I agree. Actually,
and like sprinkle on Halloween here and there.
yeah.
Well, what's also incredibly strange and interesting at the same time is we got the new skin that's butcher themed, right? Well, they dropped a line of scrapbeat themed skins, and that makes
Yep.
me wonder: are the former ones coming back? Are people gonna get Plague Doctor? I'm saying probably not, but it is interesting that they're bringing back themed weapons for Scrapbeak at all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
not
I
bringing
want
back,
that bomb
adding them.
lance. I want that bomb lance, and it's sad that I don't have it.
it's a nice.
I
one.
really hope they at least bring back the weapons. If Plague Doctor stays exclusive, so be it. Give people the bomb lance.
Yeah, I want it so bad. I'll pay you, Crytek, please, please.
Well, that's exactly what I was telling Tyler the other night. Is that people will pay for that? It's
Yeah.
exactly like the previous like skins, like Skinflint and stuff. They will pay. So
Yeah, they will
if
pay.
you just re-release it, exclusivity is way less important than money. Money talks.
I mean, at the same time, though, I do get it because I think if the people like Aaron and DJ, they like spent so long to get the Plague Doctor skin, and it was such a pain in the balls. Yeah, they should
I mean,
have.
they
something
play
to
the
show
game
for it, too.
anyways, though. Like they play the
Yeah.
game anyways. You know,
Yeah, and
I think they're okay
I wasn't
with.
playing during that time
They're
either.
okay with
just 'cause
us
my
getting
computer.
the skin too. I mean, maybe reward them in some way, but
I mean,
Yeah,
what they'll
but-
probably do is the quest line, just like they did with Billy's story.
Yeah,
'cause Billy's
if
Store was
anything, yeah.
exclusive too. So
Mhm, that's true. Yeah, if they do anything, they'll probably do that. I mean, even if I had to pay for that quest line, I would too. But I mean, like I said, I would pay for it.
yeah, DLC basically.
Yeah, like I would definitely pay for it. But you know, whatever they decide to do, it's
Yeah, it's their
whatever,
choice.
so. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
super surprising, and it even makes me wonder: are all bosses going to get this kind of treatment? Because I can't imagine a spider or assassin themed weapon. Maybe
We were just talking about that too.
Yeah, like the spider, like a spider hunter. Like you just have a bunch of zombie arms and legs like strapped onto you as
The
you're running.
assassin's got no
Kind of-
face,
well-
and then like these funny looking like nubs for Habs.
Well, even if they had like the god skins from Elden Ring, where it's like a full skin suit, that'd be nasty. That'd be kind of funny too.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like a wimpier version of it.
Yeah. Well,
I'd
it would
actually be down
obviously.
for that. That'd be
It would be
down.
cool. I
Yeah.
mean,
It would be. Cool.
I could see like a melee weapon with a spider leg as the handle.
it could work. It could work.
Yeah.
You know, like a saber even. It'd make it real freaking
Yeah,
weird
Make
looking, whereas the rest are so
yeah.
stylish.
Saber.
Yeah. Well, also with the new event, there was so many drops. It's going to be hard to contain ourselves at all of them because the moment we touch one, there's like 4 others. This is probably one of the biggest drop events that we've seen, and because
in terms of content, like all at once, absolutely.
right off the bat, we've got the 3 hunter skins, which are sick. Honestly, me and Aaron watched it together, and we were freaking the hell out right off the bat.
Nice. Solid.
Yeah. Well,
I was still most shocked by the gas mask, dude.
He
It's
looks
true.
great.
Yes.
Oh man,
Oh.
he looks great.
he
The
fits.
Pigman honestly looks beautiful, man.
He does. Nice and like tall too, which is
I'm so stoked for this.
hell yeah. Obviously they probably won't keep the height. They did that for story reasons, but I personally liked the Scarecrow
Me too,
because that was the most Halloween nod that we got from all of this information.
That one feels that way.
Yeah, it feels
And
very
then-
Halloween.
Way more
And we
than
got the-
Mama May and the Headsman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of people are speculating that the Pigman is a Butcher follower, but I personally think it might be the Butcher before he turned into the Butcher. I have zero evidence,
It's nifty.
but that
That would be
is my
nice.
guess. Yeah.
I think that would be cooler if it was that versus just a follower, but it's probably I imagine it's just a follower. But I mean, they do a lot of like lore breaking stuff all the time, like Billy's story, or not Billy's story. Black Coat is still alive. They have 2 different versions of the Revenant, so like it would still work if they had the Butcher before he was the Butcher. As
But it's a
playable
game
character.
first, and the lore is essentially to cover many different parts of the game itself.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and that's exactly what I kind of like about this game is it kind of ignores timeline and more so goes for interesting skin lines, at least if they're lore themed at all. So that's what led me to that conclusion that it could be the Butcher.
Yeah.
I mean, we could even get skins for all of the bosses. That would be kind of interesting because they all started as some kind of hunter or human, I guess. I don't know if they were all
that's what we were
hunters.
kind of joking about too.
Yeah.
With the spider.
Well, and I'm just going to kind of go down the list here of all the guns that I wrote, and this is all that I found on Reddit. I put a couple of question marks because not all of them are necessarily proven, but we are getting uppercut precision, a penny shot derringer, a Vetterly Cyclone, which is a semi-auto Vetterly, silenced Bornheim, Springfield Bayonet, Berthier Marksman. I should have put a question mark. I didn't necessarily see proof of that. The baseball bat, which was the biggest what the hell moment. A possible medium slot crossbow, because in the picture it doesn't have a stock, and people are wondering if there's going to be all 3 variants of crossbow, like a big slot, medium slot, small slot. Uppercut precision Deadeye, which somebody said but I couldn't find proof of, and then somebody speculated meat cleaver, but we think it's
Could be a knife.
more so. It's probably either a heavy knife or a machete. I say heavy knife. Aaron said machete.
Yeah, heavy
I
knife.
said heavy knife as well. So
Yeah,
I'm fully believing the machete.
it would be
I would
super
say-
cool.
That would make more
What if
sense.
I can
it's
see
not-
how it
what
could
if
be,
it's a
but
whole
I
new
think it's
thing?
heavy knife, honestly.
what if it's a whole new thing though?
What if it's
I-
not a skin at all? It's just a part of
It's just a
that
meat
character's,
cleaver.
and then they just like showed it off to be like,
that is.
oh, it's a
No,
story.
not-
You know,
Not like a story thing. No, I mean like it's a new weapon entirely. Just the meat cleaver.
it would bring up one of those conversations that we kind of have where it's like, why? There's already things to cover that, you know?
Yeah.
It wouldn't really
That's why
serve a
it's
purpose.
best that it would be a skin, but you know.
Unless it was a throwable version of a rending weapon like the throwing knives or
Could be a
something.
throwing
Like
knife as well.
a throwable, yeah, but we never saw him throw it, did we?
No.
He
No.
just showed it off. That's all.
He's like,
Yeah,
look at my
it's
knife,
on his
hee hee. And
Like,
yeah.
"Hey, I'm a butcher, man."
Personally, well, okay. First, before we get into the next subject, which one is your guys' favorite? Personally, let's start with Tyler.
Honestly, this is probably going to surprise you. The Cyclone. I hate the Vetterly. I absolutely hate the Vetterly. I can't use that thing. I'm just garbage with it, so that's my fault. But where it's going to be like semi-auto, and looked like it could be a medium slot from what I saw. I think that's going to help me with like a lot of builds because I like to take the Romero hatchet a lot as a secondary. So I'm pretty excited about that one.
I didn't even consider that it could be medium slot. That's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look kind of small.
Yeah, it looked shorter. So, but it could just be the design of the gun. So it could still be a full gun. Who knows at this point?
That's fair. I keep saying Colin's might go off. You want to go next, Colin?
Sorry, I'm just clicking.
No, you're solid.
I am also most excited for the Vetterly because I'm just trash with bolt action most of the time, and I get so fidgety and anxious that I need a faster gun. So a semi-auto Vetterly sounds awesome.
Yeah,
to me.
Hell yeah, Richard.
Showdown.
Let's hear it.
So we talk about like the most different guns in this particular. Excuse me.
Yeah, well, just the one that excites you.
Well,
Doesn't
I was
even
just
have to be
going
a
to say that. So all the guns, most of them are variations of guns we already have, whereas the last event introduced some new ones that were a lot more different, like not the Derringer. What's it called? The drilling. That's the one.
Yeah.
And upper map, but that one's forgotten.
I liked it, but whatever.
It was all right. Yeah.
So the thing that I would probably jump to, just because I like to make things more interesting and memey, probably the baseball bat. Let's just go with that. I want to just go hammer some people down.
Yeah, boy.
I knew it. I knew you'd pick that.
I don't blame you. Yeah.
I mean, I started with the saber, so that was a really fun loadout.
I think I know what Aaron's gonna say, and I think I agree with him. Tell me, or tell everyone, rather.
The Derringer. The Derringer by far.
Derringer. That's
it was gonna be either the Bornheim or the Cyclone, but the Derringer by far is the funniest thing in the world to me, and I'm going to mainstay that now. I'm literally going to have that in my loadouts all the time.
Yeah, especially where it's penny shot. That's boss shredding material, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I put that second for me.
No, I agree. Mine was the Bornheim until I figured out that Derringer was penny shot, and then I thought the potential is kind of nuts.
Yeah.
See, I thought you both would pick the Bornheim too. So.
Yeah, exactly. But no, like I heard his surprise with it, and then I was like, nah, I think he agrees. But,
that's right. Yeah, he did exclaim earlier about it.
Yeah. Now, when I heard it was penny shot, I was like, dang, I'm really excited, especially where it's like I said, a tool slot. That is what makes it so interesting. And people are already saying, well, what if you can bring both Derringers, which is totally a thing. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah. And then just have like melee weapons and just go straight crazy.
Hell yeah. Well, there was even one thing that Colin had an idea about before we even wrote the notes. Well, when all of this released, do you want to go ahead and tell about it?
Yeah, because I had a similar Derringer idea with I suggested. I think I even suggested that it was a 2-shot poison Derringer that does the same effect that a poison bolt for the hand crossbow does, where it's kind of tick damage if you stay in it, but like it only lasts for a second, so it ticks down for just like a brief second in that same like cloud effect, except only you're affected by it.
Right.
Oh yeah. Because I even kind of wondered like if it could just be a poison ammo type, but then adding ammo types to the tools would even make kind of a interesting shakeup. Because then wouldn't that mean that shotgun Derringer could have slugs? That would be weird.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Oh no.
That'd be so funny though. I don't even
That
know
would
if I'd be mad.
hilarious. No.
Oh my goodness.
Gosh. Yeah, that would
But-
be hilarious.
I wanted to bring that up because I thought that was a good timing, especially where the Derringer was kind of a centerpiece here. Which one do we think is going to be a meta changer, though? Because I honestly, I have an answer, but I want to see what you guys say.
The Bornheim. Yeah.
It's
Being
gonna be the
able to
fastest shooting silenced.
Yeah, it's gonna be
That is
nutty.
true, yeah.
And that's going to be a hot take. What's
Yeah.
up?
I was thinking the Cyclone because it's medium ammo, so it's high damage and it shoots fast.
Or were
Yeah.
you saying, Aaron?
That could be too.
No. I'd said the silence Bornheim, but I do have something that might be of interest regarding one of the new skins.
Okay.
Oh,
Do tell.
I'm gonna post it in our general.
Yeah,
So,
please do.
Miss Praxis on Reddit found a couple of early masks for fire rescue people in France in the mid
Oh, those-
1800s to
Those are
around the World
scariest
War One
looking
era,
things. Jeez.
and that
Oh, wow.
literally looks almost exactly like what he's wearing, or she.
That
I mean,
is-
it could be either or.
Yeah.
That's
So,
true.
We might have a firefighter on our hands, guys, and not.
That's so
like
cool.
that
Oh,
would
hell
look
yeah.
so
a gas
good.
mask.
Oh my
And that
gosh.
makes way more sense with the fire.
Yeah, the fire
And
comes
yeah.
back.
He's the lead for the fire pack too, so it's like it just
That's
makes
true.
a lot of sense now.
Holy
So,
crap.
A really
So-
cool like little
so
tidbit
with-
that I just saw.
this is kind of jumping back, so I do apologize. But like with the fire coming back, and what you were saying, how you think that one dude is the butcher. I don't know, that made me think that it actually could be the butcher because he held up the cleaver. Who uses cleavers? Butchers do. What element is the or what pact is the skin, the pig guy?
I do believe he was in the Infernal, but I could be mistaken because
I-
there.
If that's
Bring
the
it up
case, because butcher is also fire too. So, and it's a fire event. I don't know. It's just, it could just be coincidence. I could just be like,
All the pieces are coming together.
He is
Yeah.
the demented pack.
Oh, so that's interesting. Okay, but isn't Infernal technically against fire? So because they're the ones that have the traits that don't burn. So it kind of fits that he's not in there.
I mean, it could, but you could also make the argument Infernal Pact is not necessarily against, but with fire. Like they have the powers of fire, and that's why it doesn't affect them much. But
That's fair.
yeah, I don't know. That's all speculation. So sorry for backtracking there, but
Not at all.
I
No,
just
that
found
was
that
my
interesting.
bad.
No,
No.
that was cool. So I'm
That came in.
excited. Yeah.
That came in clutch. That was good information. That
Yeah.
actually was. Yeah.
Good thing I started scrolling Reddit for once.
Yeah.
I will honestly say, because I thought about it, I kind of thought that the Silent Spornheim might be one of the biggest meta shakers, but I definitely changed my mind. I think the Uppercut Precision is going to be as big as people say, because the upper mat is already too expensive. Well, not that the Uppercut Precision is going to complement that price, but it's definitely going to be a really stable uppercut, which is already one of the only issues with the uppercut. And the lack of shotgun is going to make it any weaker. So I definitely think the Uppercut Precision is going to be a staple if it competes with the Compact Mosin, because the Compact Mosin has been one of the underdogs in the high meta, I would say, because a lot of people ignore it. If you've got pretty good adjustment to sway, you can nail people with that Compact Mosin easily.
Yeah.
And that ammo hurts. long ammo.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it can all the range of a full Mosin almost.
Yeah, exactly. I've used it a lot, and when you shoot it does sway a little bit more, but when you're in the zone, you really don't notice it, I guess. So it feels like you're just holding a freaking Mosin, which is arguably one of the better rifles that people use and to compete against each other, especially. So
Yeah, the Mosin's very competitive.
yeah.
Well, and my reasoning that the precision might actually hold a place as opposed to a lot of other ones is I'd say one of the biggest downfalls to the uppercut is when you switch from your rifle to a pistol, because they added, I think, a couple years ago, that immense amount of sway when you switch to your pistol to stop the two tapping potential. But this puts it back because a stocked pistol doesn't have all that sway.
Have the sway. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That initial sway when you aim down sights, they did that for a nerf, and for good reason. I think that was a good change, but I think that this is easily going to counter that.
Yeah, and like you said, it's now that we got an uppercut precision, there pretty much is no such thing as the upper mat anymore. It's pretty much gone. Like nobody's going to use it ever again. So, because why would you use that if you can use an uppercut precision? Because I'm sure that's going to be just a medium slot, just like the upper mat. So.
Right, yeah. And I want the upper mat to succeed. It's the only poison long ammo there is, which is kind of a weird thing to think about.
Besides Sparks, but...
Oh, hell, Sparks. Yeah. Well, that's kind of funny because the Sparks is arguably the best long ammo rifle in the game if you're one hell of a sharpshooter. But that's the only gun that gives Sparks long ammo, besides the Sparks pistol, I guess. Yeah. But Sparks pistol, that's mostly an ammo fill for everybody else's guns at this point, and everybody just sidelines it otherwise.
Yeah.
Well,
which makes sense. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, in the 3 new pacts, I mean, we see Infernal returning. We know that Death is most likely going to be Death Cheat, or at least centered around being balanced around Death Cheat, I would guess. And
I think it's going to have more Necro perks. So
it might. And Demented, which we have no idea. That one already is probably the wild card of the 3 pacts. I wonder what the hell is going to be in them.
Yeah,
honestly.
I mean, obviously it's going to be based around being like insane or chaos or something, but what they do in terms of how it's going to work into the traits, I don't know. I couldn't even begin to think. But I'm also worried that because every event where we've had these pacts, there always seems to be the 2 main ones that people pick, and then people just kind of ignore the third. I just hope that this one, it'll have like all 3 will be.
See, that's why this one's got me wondering like so much as to what they're actually gonna do, because we know 1 trait per each one right now, and we don't actually know what they primarily do. But we have Acolyte, which has something to do with clues, which the way that they show it, it might be how long ago it was actually grabbed.
Oh,
or it might show a wider range, maybe, as to like it being read. But then we have Witness. Witness makes the least sense to me. Like, is it just going to show dead bodies? Like, what is Witness going to do in the Death Pact?
Well, it also kind of looked like she could see the cause of death of the person, like the last few seconds, which that would give the killer's location away. That's too powerful. I don't think that's got to be what it is.
I mean, that could also just be a story thing, because who is the one that saw that? The seer? Like, that's what seers do. They see, like...
The chick with the morgue veil. Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I'm thinking of somebody else.
Yeah.
Look her up real quick.
Right, but it's definitely really strange. The pacts feel probably the most unusual, because I actually thought that a lot of the pacts in Tide of Shadows were really balanced, except for maybe Mariner, because somebody in heavy rain or standing in the water would heal their health faster than an Olympian runner. So that was broken.
Yeah, that was pretty. That was pretty cool, though. I thought
it was cool. It was a great idea, not implemented properly, I guess is the way I would put it.
Yeah.
Too much healing. Well,
and then you had the Smuggler Pact, which was pretty much everyone. That was the one that everybody mostly ignored.
Largely ignored.
Yeah.
Sophia.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, that's her name.
Yeah. Well,
and it is a canon thing because she, like, literally in her bio, she made a blood pact with death.
Whoa.
Okay.
Well,
interesting.
Edgy.
And if anybody,
either way, like, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
Yeah, no, either way, the death, that one witness, that one feels weird to me. Like, I don't know what to think of it yet. Not until we see it, obviously.
Yeah, that's true.
I was gonna say, for anybody wondering why Richard suddenly went radio silent, he's being a good dad right now. Don't worry. He's just taking care of business. He'll be back soon.
Yeah.
Oh, is that why? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. But one suggestion, and I want to credit the person because a lot of people love to steal ideas. I just thought it would be better to give credit where I saw it. There was an excellent suggestion from Reddit that I saw, and it was from a user named Phonics504. If you hear this, thank you. Bodies should appear charred after they're burned out, which would save time and doubt for anybody who's standing nearby, because they could watch from a distance. I know most bodies have the flame dissipate, but especially for coming across dead bodies that other teams have killed, it would immediately tell you not to go and try to loot that body. It would just help you to move on quicker. Since a lot of people, especially people who like to rock
Necro.
Vulture. You know what I mean? For people who are looking to loot bodies, they'll just see the bodies burnt and move on.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a cool idea because it also would look cool and make sense.
Yeah. I think if they, I was saying, if they implement something like that, I think it would be cool if they did it in like stages. That like the closer they were to being burnt out completely on their last health bar, like they would kind of change the way they look. Obviously, they would turn back to normal if they do get revived in time. But I don't know. I just thought that would be kind of cool too if they were gonna even add that. But
well, and it would give an indication as to how far burned they are. I wonder if that could be a balancing issue, but I don't think so.
Yeah, and I think people could make the argument that it would be a balancing issue. And I could see there be some compelling points too, but I think I just think it would be a cool detail. So
yeah, absolutely.
I just heard that real quick, and I think that having them burned out isn't necessarily a problem with balancing, because people are already telling their teammates when they're burning out. So there's already the communication going on.
That's if they're communicating, though. But we're talking more.
Play this game together, though, or as a solo.
Yeah, so. But I think the balancing issue is coming from the stages. Like, how close are they to being burned out? Because then it's like, oh well, now that they're close to being burned out, if they have Necro, they're about to stand up, you know, like, and then I can nail another shot. Like, yeah, you can
kind of gauge it, because
there are ways,
time, depending on how many bars they have. So,
well, you're right, it's the same amount of time, but I could just see people making the argument. I suppose, I don't know.
Right. Well, and an argument against that is obviously solos. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah, solos, because they rock Necro a lot. So. Which personally, I think that would,
where a solo is, that would even out the Necro.
Yeah, see, I think that would actually make it okay for me in my mind that Necro is still in the game. If we could see them like how close they are to burning out. I think that would help a lot. But that's just me, so I don't know what other people think about that. Did we lose connection?
No.
Okay. It just got real quiet. I was like, "Oh, did Discord?"
Oh no, it's because DJ walked away.
Yeah, all. No, you're good. So I mean, like if they do add it into the game, I think it would just be when they're burned out. They look different, but that's it. I don't think they would implement the stages.
That's the only thing they would do.
Yeah, I think if they do anything with that, that's probably what they would do.
See, and that's more of a quality of life thing to me personally.
Right. Yeah,
to
it's
see
not
it rather than having to walk up to it to see it.
Yeah, and it's not really like game changing or anything. So
it helps with the flow of the game.
Yeah, exactly. Especially since what Richard and I were saying earlier with the solos, like how adding Necro really slows down the fast pacedness and all of that. So I think it would help with that.
Yeah, it's just a possibility of it being there.
What's that? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
I was just going to say that it slows it down for everyone but the solo, because the solo can go hog wild after they res.
Yeah, that's true.
And I have.
I was going to say I've seen you guys do it, so.
Okay. So, Richard, are you actually back? Are you good?
I'm back, yeah.
Okay. You had an idea. Go ahead.
Yes, indeed. So, basically, I'd say that the bounty hunt is basically the way that most people play this game, and there's a few niche audience that plays quick play. We definitely need more modes, in my opinion. So, based on the training area, or whatever you call it, the shooting gallery, basically with that, we're adding what I think would be another mode that would be really fun to do. And that would be basically emphasizing the showdown aspect of it all. And basically we have a smaller area, maybe 1 to 2 complex sizes, maybe just 1 complex, kind of similar to how the training area is set up. And then you have teams, solos, whatever going on, and you have limited respawns, and so it's kind of like a team deathmatch of sorts, but with the respawn thing, which creates the elimination, and it's like a mini royale basically, and it's not like infinite respawns, so it's not like pure Call of Duty, and so it still has that death means death thing, but it emphasizes the necro and things like that, and just the fighting aspect of the game.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that would be interesting. I will say, Halo Infinite had a mode that was pretty much exactly what you're describing.
Yeah.
Except they of course were trying to copy the whole battle royale thing, where they're like, the area's got to shrink too, and it's just
you don't need to shrink the area, nothing like that. It's just about moving, rotating, playing the game as the game would, but you're just not going for a bounty in this particular aspect. And I think it would also be great because you're focusing on a game with unique gunplay and mechanics as it is. So to lean into that for the rest of the game would be something that really puts people probably more casuals towards this sort of game.
Yeah, I could see that. And I guess one of my questions with that idea is when like say you kill a body, obviously you can pick up their guns and stuff, like would their body just like despawn, or would there just be like eventually by the end of the match just like 100 bodies laying on the ground? I don't know. Or would they just take looting away? Like how would they balance that?
I mean,
well, in all
I think
fairness,
you can do like a revive system if you wanted. Like their body could stay there.
It would be exactly like the training mode where the body just sort of disappears and then they respawn with their own body again.
In a place
what if
where
you wanted
the other
to,
players aren't.
What if you wanted to take their gun though? Like in normal like deathmatch situations, like
maybe you would
they
take away the gun
takes a little
stealing. What's that?
It does, but some people might, go AFK for a second and then everybody has like a much longer time to take their gun. I don't know. Like it I'm just curious
maybe
how that
you
would
don't
work.
like remove guns. Like maybe this is one of the only modes where that happens. You can't steal guns, but there's going to be like guns maybe scattered throughout the mode, kind of like the training mode as well.
So would they
Or,
start everybody with the same weapons, or would they start people with or
I
with
think you
whatever
can do
loadouts they
loadouts.
bring?
I mean,
So
we
just
move
gang up
into
on the person who's got an
Hunt.
optimat, so you can take it. So
we do that in Hunt, and you basically, if you bring like money into this mode, you still lose it and stuff like that.
yeah, that's
and
true.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's more rewarding or something, so you're more likely to go in and out of this mode.
I think just making
there's
it.
a lot of kinks to still go about it, but I think it could work.
I think making it to where people would have to pay for their loadouts still, and like they would still lose it, would pretty much balance it out.
That balances it out in the regular one, and so if you want a really strong gun, you have to pay for it. You have to have that money,
and you're probably going to lose it in a mode like that.
And,
so
it's even like it's kind of harsher than like quick
the normal.
It's almost like and even
exactly.
Because you can like go not interact with anybody and end up extracting in bounty.
Yeah, and just walk away with a lot of money if you do it fast enough. So,
well, I guess one thing that I kind of think is it's a lot like other certain shooters where are these modes going to be populated? Because it's obviously going to take away from bounty hunt. Is it going to be more of a warm-up round? Because I could see a lot of people populating it as a warm-up round for bounty hunt, but then is it going to stay populated? Are people going to be interested? And Tyler brought up a really good point. Are guns stealable? Why are they stealable? That's kind of what makes quick play, or what the hell do they call it now? Soul Survivor. Should have just stuck with quick play. Yeah, just what the fuck is Soul Survivor? Just say quick play, because that's what people use it for anyways, a warm-up. And
solid victory.
I guess realistically, it's got a lot of good ideas.
In it, but I think if I had time, I could like come up with all counter arguments to why it would work, why it wouldn't work. I think it would work in practice, but
right,
like what Richard was saying.
And trying.
I think it would bring in a lot more just like casual players, like people like it's kind of a cool Western shooter game. I guess I'll play that because they just have a deathmatch mode. So
the thing that makes it so different is the game itself. The gunplay is very different than every other shooter out there. It is not the same. So basically, that's kind of its draw as well. If you just want to go freaking ham and just kill a bunch of people or die or whatever you want to, then you can go do that. You don't have to mess around finding an empty lobby and then do the same old boss over and over again.
You motherfuckers just went Call of Duty in a Hunt Showdown.
Hell yeah.
And that's what I didn't grow up with
Call
that
of
it would
Duty,
be
though,
too close to that. So yeah, I didn't either. I played Halo. I was one of those kids. So
yeah, Halo was also limited for me too. So
yeah.
Well, Aaron even suggested something that sounded kind of similar, and I wonder, because you said you wanted something that was more like a free-for-all mode, because you did agree with Richard on Team Deathmatch. Well, free-for-all, would you mean the bounty hunt, but with everybody as a solo on the map, but bounty hunt instead of quick play?
Well, the thing is, quick play literally is just everyone's a solo on the map. It's essentially the same thing to me.
I wish they had it not just solos on quick play.
I guess I wonder. Oh, go ahead.
I do kind of actually thinking of it. Thanks, Richard.
Yeah,
that does sound like a cool concept to have as trios going in, where you guys have to run out as the sole survivor instead of like, oh hey, let's run in, grab the bounty target, and leave without ever seeing anybody. Because sometimes we do that because we're on one corner of the map and the other one's vanishing on the opposite end of the map.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think I would rather have something like Soul Survivor on for teams though. But I get why they wouldn't do that because like splitting into different playlists really does split the player base, and it makes it a lot harder, especially when this game is like realistically as big as we think this game is. We do run into a lot of the same names. This game is not as big as we would like for it to be.
It is
so
growing.
It would be hard.
And it's definitely growing every single event as we pass.
Yeah, but the thing is, we also got to remember that with each peak comes another heavy fall.
True.
Yeah.
But that's
especially with this last event.
Interesting.
Like right now.
Like right now, right before this new event, there's not that many newer people playing. It's all the people who are completely dedicated to hunting. I get it, but it just sucks because it makes every single game feel the exact same, and it makes it feel like every single game you kind of, at least for us, we kind of have to sweat our butt cheeks off because
it's a struggle. It's not fun.
So if not, then we don't get any kills and we die every round.
So basically, based on what you're saying, is that we kind of need something more casual, so more people will maintain. Then,
and
if
that's
you
what
grow
your
audience, you kind of have to do that in Resident Evil.
Which is why,
audience.
I think the free for all or team deathmatch might work the best.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's literally just gonna be like how they do the shooting range. You just go in with a loadout. There's a bunch of guns around the map,
and that's why I kind of thought. Oh,
it would have to be 2 compounds. Like if it's a team deathmatch, it would have to be 2 compounds.
Or its own map.
Yeah, well, one issue with taking any population away from bounty hunt is you're realistically gonna kind of run into that problem where the casual players, will float towards these game types, whereas the hardcore players are going to stay exactly on the bounty hunt type, which is what we already have an issue with, and which is arguably the best game type.
I could see that too.
When you have
it
Soul
basically
Survivor and Bounty, then of course Bounty's going to easily beat out Soul Survivor.
Yeah, but I think what DJ's
saying.
I think what DJ's saying is like it's basically it's not solving the problem because the casuals are just going to stay in one area, and
but I'm
people
saying
like us
the
are
two
going to stay
modes
in the
they
other.
have,
So.
like they're not different enough and they're not interesting. Like I don't play solo in this game because it's not fun to me. So
right,
but that's a personal opinion. So obviously, I'm going to want something more casual.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Right. Well, and my thought process is. I think these are solid ideas. I just think they were onto something. Right. Well, I think they were onto something with the Soul Survivor or whatever they were, because that kind of takes away all of the heat of coming in with no loadout and just leaving with whatever you get. There's nothing to lose, whereas Bounty Hunt is the exact opposite. You lose everything. And I do believe that they'll come up with some kind of extra game mode. I don't think they'll leave that dry. I definitely think they're just trying to think of something that would fit as a good placeholder between either I want to run solo with nothing to lose, or I want to run into the bayou with my friends, but we all die and lose everything, right? I think they're trying to think of a middle ground.
I mean, maybe it could be like quick play, Soul Survivor, whatever.
A team quick play would be great.
A team quick play would be
perfect.
Great.
You got the same thing I got going on right now. But I was also saying that like you could do, I don't know. I lost my thought. Whatever.
Well,
sorry.
Before we go too deep into that, because I would like to see what Crytek comes up with. I don't believe that they're leaving that on the back burner. I think there's something cooking. Tyler, I actually agree with this. You said that the practice mode should add more people than just the 3.
Oh, of course. I think we all could agree with that. I think you should be able to add like 6 or 9 at least, and maybe even split it up into teams. I think a lot of that
because it takes a server space anyways.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, and I know people would agree with this too, it's a training mode, right? I don't want to shoot dummies. I want to shoot zombies. I want to shoot armoreds. I want to shoot emulators. Let us be able to add like monsters to it too, if we want. Like, I think that would be awesome.
Well, they do have the training.
The trials.
They do, yeah. They have
talking
trials.
About training specifically, because you do you go after the zombies, and you also go after a boss, and then you finish it up, and you're all dandy.
Yeah, but that is voice acting. It's kind of weird. But
practice mode allows you to grab all of these guns on the map as well, though. So you'd be able to quickly swap between gun types while you're shooting at these zombies. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah,
I think it'd be great, but I'm saying the differentiation is smaller than some other things. I 100% agree. I'm stumbling over my
I mean,
words.
I personally think the first thing they need to fix with the training mode, though, is they need to actually add all of the guns, because they're not all there. There's several ones that are missing, like the upper mat. The drilling isn't on it. I don't think the Bornheim
those
is
are
either.
all new, though. Those came out either at the same time or right after
the fact. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They came out at the same time, I thought.
It was
That's why I said either at the same time or right after. Because either way,
because they already had it set up.
It's understandable
without that update coming out quite yet. So,
but there are guns that aren't there that we've had forever. You can't find a normal Springfield there either.
There you go.
I don't think there's a Bornheim on there, but I could be wrong.
Well, you gotta hold that thought though, because we only stay in Fort. It spreads into other compounds.
I actually checked the other compound that it spreads to. There's nothing there.
Then have you checked the outsides? Because there are, guns on the outskirts of Fort.
Yeah, there is, but there's not on the other. There's not on the other place. I have checked before, and now I don't know if they changed that recently, but last time I checked, there wasn't any. So.
Okay.
Yeah, we can that. Yeah.
Well.
Oh.
Don't worry. Colin just has something to do, so give her a friendly goodbye to Colin, I suppose. But we're moving on. Well, if you do want the moving targets, it's true. You could just use the zombie trials. One thing I would highly recommend for people who are constantly having issues shooting enemy hunters and you want to try and stay consistent, it's a good hint. I agree with it. Run the same loadout as much as you possibly can. It's really important that you learn the gun, you nail the shots, take what you like, take it into, the bounty hunt, and run it over and over. Make sure it's a cheap gun. You'll get really, really good.
And once you're good with cheap guns, then you'll always have a good gun, even if you don't have any.
Oh, and there's many, many ammo types that make a lot of those cheap guns viable, like high velo. That will easily make the Winfield into basically a Lebel, at least at closer ranges.
Right, yeah. It's obviously not as powerful and as fast, but
yeah.
You just get a bazooka and then be done with it.
Just blow the whole damn place up.
Yeah. I agree.
All right. Well. Well, one thing that we actually talked about a little bit in private that I thought was kind of a funny subject that we should talk about a bit. Should VoIP exist with a beetle? Should we be able to talk to people through a flying little bastard?
Wait, I'm trying to find our conversation. I gotta get my notes.
Go right ahead. But yeah, it's I definitely think people would get way too abusive. I think that there's a good possibility it could get pretty toxic. I'm not saying it wouldn't be funny, because boy, there would be some funny, hilarious moments, but it could easily get abused, but you guys seem to disagree.
I mean, I agree that it could be abused. I just don't think
it's definitely going to get abused.
Would abuse it as much as they abuse everything else.
Do you remember where we were talking about this?
I don't. I think it was just
it was in text. I know that.
It's true. It's no more. It wouldn't be any more. Well, I feel like it could be more abused, but it might not be more abused than VoIP already is with a lot of toxic people.
Yeah.
You know, realistically.
Yeah, what I was thinking is like my whole idea with that is basically make a super fat beetle with like this big ass like speaker on it, like you know how we have the music players just attached, and then literally it's just announcing, and then whenever you're talking you hear like a small like whisper next to your character, and then it's like real loud and echoey from the beetle itself.
Yeah,
and it'd be like a deception technique, like you're like yelling in their ear, and then like if they're not like paying attention, they can hear like a small little whisper if they're close enough to find out where you actually are, and then you could go and kill them that way, or you can just blast the shit out of the beetle, because this thing is fat. We're talking about like gargantuan. We're
talking.
Its wings can't hold itself. Have to.
Well, that obviously wouldn't happen. Goddamn, would that be funny?
So it'd be more of like deception like techniques. So it's basically like maybe not like freaking as big as a person, but like we're talking about something that doesn't have to be using precision like a regular beetle. Like they're basically like, okay, shut up with the stupid voice. I'm done with it. I've shot your beetle. Now I'm coming to kill you.
I just had another thought too on this beetle conversation. Actually,
it's got big lips too, right?
Oh, I don't like where that's going, but
come on, man.
Okay, sure. No, a bigger beetle, like shorter than a person, but like a big enough target to where it could be considered like you're shooting at a person, but it just moves faster than a normal person. It can't do any damage, but it's just a sentry. Like it's basically a normal beetle, but it crawls on the ground. Like it doesn't fly. Yeah.
Oh, when you were saying shorter than a person, I just thought of like this 4 foot tall beetle just like walking around on the ground and like it's on 2 legs, and I was like, oh my god, that's probably the scariest shit ever.
Yeah, not like that. I mean like crawling like a beetle would.
You're like controlling it, and it's just like
like if it's faster than a normal person, it should be able to be an easy target to hit, so it should be big.
So kind of like the drones in Siege, in a sense?
I guess, yeah. I guess that's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I
think the beetles were already
though.
Yeah, I think so too. It was just literally a passing thought I just had right now. So
I think it's an interesting thought. Maybe you had a flying version and a walking version. When it walks,
you really want to see that guy walk, like just on 2 legs. That's what we really want. That's what we really want.
Yeah, we just want to see the cute little fat little beetle.
Yeah, I actually do want more beetle. Add beetle skins, Crytek.
Please.
New beetles: fire beetle, fat chunky beetle, VoIP beetle.
We got plenty of seasons, man.
Boombox beetle.
Poison spitting beetle. I don't know. No,
you could have awful. A flying turkey as a Thanksgiving skin and give yourselves an excuse to have a skin for that damn season. Be funny.
That would be awesome. But aren't they Germany based? I don't know if they celebrate that. So.
Yeah, but come on.
But this is an American game. Like it's set in America.
That is true. That actually is a very good point. So that's a good counter argument.
Germany, put it together.
Yeah.
I love you, Germany.
What are you, German?
We do want to save a lot of our speculations, and we do want to save a lot of the gun balancing and the gun talk, especially for when they come out. If anybody's wondering why we haven't really delved deep into all of what we think is going to happen, we want to talk more about the nitty gritty when we get our hands on the guns and are able to actually use them. So that's going to be something, especially that we're excited for in the next episode, where we're going to really get into how the event feels, what's going on, you know, what kind of meme loadouts are people now running. But
double baseball bats.
Oh yeah, double baseball bats. People are already
definitely doing that.
Well, there are already people who are talking about they want the concertina wire wrapped around it so they could be Deegan from The Walking Dead, beat people's heads in. I bet you it'll have a bleed variant. That sounds pretty easy.
It just sounds way like they're setting themselves up for that. I don't know. I agree.
Yeah, they definitely have something planned. We have a lot of things that we were wanting to discuss as well, but we got to talk about it with all 5 members. So unfortunately, we'll leave those to the next episode. We'll probably have a much longer next episode. But do we have any final wrap-up thoughts? Do we have anything that perhaps we would like to toss into before we think the event's going to start? Is there anything that we think maybe is going to happen? Maybe not. Maybe we're just going to wait and see.
I'm just going to double down. Crytek add a beetle skin. That's all I want to say.
Just give it like a mohawk or something.
Beetle. One question.
Both. I don't know.
One question I do have though for you gentlemen, because I am kind of speculating on this. What skin for a gun do you think is going to be in the event? Because I didn't really look at the trailer, but I definitely think a Centennial Shorty skin's coming.
I do too, actually. I mean, obviously they're going to add skins for the newest type of guns because that's usually the formula that they follow. But in terms of like new skins, they'll probably do a crossbow, maybe a normal Vetterli because that's a very popular gun, maybe a Mosin.
Uppercut.
Please don't wrap the gun in leather and beads and make it an old gun. Like, I'm so sick of that.
And please don't do a regular uppercut skin. There's too many. Just get on with the other guns, please.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Actually, regular officer skins.
That's
okay, that's that. I would hope so. Because there's only 2, and they're both good, but I want more. So.
Yep.
Oh. Richard, what do you think?
Personally, I mean, maybe another rival. I don't know.
Rival wouldn't be bad. It does have quite a bit.
It does have a few, but I don't see it as much as I used to, and I kind of miss it.
Yeah, I actually
because
agree.
It's more useful almost.
I actually agree with Richard. I would like to see more. Like, yes, there's a lot of skins for it, but
I don't think it's going to happen.
As popular as it is, it doesn't have as much skins as the popular weapons do. So
yeah,
I think that it could even out. But they probably won't. So I don't know why I'm wishy-washy about it. So
yeah,
that's fair. But we are going to probably do our next podcast within a week of the event. So we'll have a lot of fresh takes. We'll have a lot of knowledge of what's going on. Maybe we'll pay attention to the lore. Probably not. More than likely.
Just a little bit.
There's a lot of topics that we want to touch on, but we have gone for far too long, especially talking about game modes because that we want to speculate on. But
I can't hear what you guys are saying at all, so just continue on if it sounds normal.
Oh,
it
that
probably dying for a second during that.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Oh boy, that means I'm gonna have some audio to cut out. I apologize. Discord is having some serious issues, as we said in the beginning. I really hope the recording went well. This is our preferred way to record it, is with a recording bot, and to pretty much just sit on Discord, make it easy for ourselves, do the editing later. We also would love to have at least an EU person come on and talk to us about the meta over there in the EU, because, you know, one thing that some of the Twitch streamers were saying that I thought was really interesting is how it's extremely memey over here in the US. We love to run really stupid loadouts, but apparently over in the EU,
how we are.
Right, but especially over in the EU, apparently it's like overly competitive, especially like since the Asia region really loves to invade their servers. But
Just like
if there's somebody from the EU that would love to come on and give their take, tell us all about the meta, we would love to have you.
That would be lovely.
Yeah, I'm even going to open up the comment section on the Spotify, the little poll or whatever, and let people comment on there. So feel free to reach out. Maybe next time I'll leave our email for others to try and reach out to us. But we've got quite the amount of chaos going on, even in my house. I'm hearing some crap going on. But we're going to wrap up this podcast here and get back to our gaming because we've got way too much to play through and hunt to rage at. So thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, go ahead, Ty.
I was just going to say stay hunting. So that's all.
Stay hunting. Yeah. Okay. So thank you so much for listening to the Hunt, Banish, Extract podcast. Sorry things got a little bit chaotic, but we will see you, in the next episode when everything hits the fan. The new event comes out, fires back, and hopefully I'll upload some great clips to our YouTube channel. Feel free to check that out. I'll try to have one from every member if I can. Stay hunting.
Yep.
Stay hunting.
Have fun out there.
Stay hunting.
Hit the fan.
Oh my gosh.